we were talking here that the time of question was 15/8 2022 and it was 13:30. Okay, so we will take the transit period of that time, and if you look at the transit period of that time, then the dasha running is of Venus and the bhukti running is of Rahu. Venus is a significator of the marriage, and also Rahu is a significator of the marriage. Okay, we have already seen the we have already seen the cuspal interlink table, and we have found that all the planets are strong. All the planets are significators of the event of marriage. So Venus as Dasha Lord, it has to be either neutral or it has to be positive. So it means the Dasha Lord is okay because Venus Dasha will run from what period? It will run from 2014 to 2034. And the person came to me in 2022. Now, it is not that the marriage will not happen up to 2034. So, the marriage will positively happen in the period of Venus because Venus is a significator of marriage. Then on 15/8/2022, the Bhukti of Rahu is running, and Rahu Bhukti will be there from 15 to 2022 up to 15 to 2025. And if you look at Rahu, Rahu represents Jupiter. Jupiter is the seventh sub-sublord. If you look at the significations of the Rahu, through its star lord Venus, it is strongly involving 5, 7, and 11. Committing with 5 and final confirmation again with 5. Okay, if I look at Rahu is representing Jupiter and Venus. If you look at the significations of Jupiter, it is giving 7 and 11 involvement, 7, 11 commitment, and then 5, 5, 11 final confirmation. And if I look at Venus, Venus is giving 5, 7, 11, 11 and 5. It means that Rahu Bhukti is okay to give the event of marriage. So, Rahu Bhukti will be there from 15 to 2022 up to 15 to 2025. It means that the marriage can happen in this period because Rahu is a significator of the event of marriage. Right? Is it okay, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, after knowing that Rahu is the Bhukti, another way to calculate Rahu as the Bhukti, whether Rahu will stay as Bhukti or it will be Jupiter which will act as Bhukti. What I need to do is, if you remember, I have pointed out in my previous lectures that we have to first of all focus upon what? The transit of the Saturn, and then we have to focus upon the transit of the Jupiter. Saturn, transit of Saturn is to be fixed first. Okay? On 15/8/2022, Saturn is transiting in Capricorn and Saturn is 12th to its sign. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
In all my previous charts I have discussed so far, I have pointed out that whenever a planet is transiting in a sign 12th to its own sign, then that period of the transit of that particular planet is not favorable. It will not allow the event to fructify. Saturn here is transiting in 10th sign, which is its own sign, but it is transiting in a sign which is 12th to the Aquarius sign, its own sign, and the transit of planet 12th to its own sign is not favorable, right? Now, if the same position was that the 10th sign is here in the 6th house and 11th in the 7th house, or the 10th house, 10th sign is here in the 7th house and 11th here is in the 8th house. If 10th sign is over here, then the transit of Saturn would have been favorable. But here in this present case, Saturn is no way linked to the 7th house. Saturn is transiting in a sign 12th to its own sign. It will not be considered to be a period in which the event is going to fructify. Okay, is it okay?
Sir,
Is there, if you have any doubt, you can ask me questions.
sir और एक बार बोल दीजिए सर.
देखो, Saturn is transiting in Capricorn. Okay,
Yes sir.
Capricorn is the sign of Saturn.
Yes sir. Yes sir.
Saturn is the lord of Capricorn. Saturn is also the lord of Aquarius sign.
Yes sir.
Saturn, when it is transiting in Capricorn, it is transiting in a sign which is 12th to its own sign.
Yes sir.
Saturn is 12th to this Aquarius sign. So this
Yes sir.
period will, this in this period the event will not fructify. So
Okay.
what we need to do? I have discussed almost 4 5 charts with you. In every chart you find that the same rule is applicable, right?
Thus, sir, this rule is for all planets or only for
Or
Saturn?
no, it's for all planets. It's for all, for slow moving planets particularly,
Okay.
Saturn and Jupiter. Okay. For Sun Moon, this rule is not applicable. For slow moving planets, why slow moving planets? Because a slow moving planet will remain in a particular sign for a long period of time. That is why. Okay. So what I'll have to do is I will have to advance the time period so that I change Saturn from Capricorn to Aquarius sign. And Saturn here is at which degrees? 27 degrees 41 minutes, which means it is 3 degrees away from the next sign, which means approximately 3 months. Because Saturn moves 1 degree per month, so approximately 3 months. And if I do it, one, two, third month, and then again, okay, it was retrograde at that time. Yeah, here it is. So Saturn will go to the sign of Aquarius on 15 to 2023. It means the marriage of this native will not happen before 15th of February 2020. Okay,
Sir, what about the Jupiter position at that point?
I have to fix it. I have to fix it.
To fix the Saturn, Jupiter also is to be considered.
Jupiter also to be considered. So I have to fix the position of Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is present here in which house? Sixth house.
Yes, sir.
Transit position 6, 8, 12 are not good. Sixth house, eighth house, and 12th house. So what I'll do here is I will again advance Jupiter from sixth house to Jupiter in seventh house, because the transit of Jupiter in Mars sign is more favorable than the transit of Jupiter in its own sign. I will just show you the cuspal interlink table. Jupiter transit in Mars sign is more favorable than Jupiter transit in Pisces sign, right? So then, now when I fix Saturn here, then what which is the bhukti I am getting over here? Again,
Sir,
I am having Rahu as the book.
Kapilji, the
हाँ जी.
Jupiter is the own house, no?
हाँ.
Jupiter is in own house, may vices. Is
No,
it?
नहीं नहीं. It
Is
is
it?
in the sixth house. It is in its own house. You have to compare the two houses. No, you have to compare the two signs. Which is more favorable? You have to compare the two signs.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay. You have
Okay.
to compare the two signs. See, in sign number one, that is Aries sign, you will have three stars, Ketu, Venus, and Sun. Okay.
Sir, my doubt, sir, in that case, if Jupiter in the Aries and Saturn is in Aquarius, then no one should marry, no, sir,
Why?
because there are 12 to their houses.
Saturn
In
is in
general doubt,
Aquarius. No, no, Saturn is in. How it is
cap,
12th?
no,
Saturn
no,
is
okay,
in Aquarius sign. How it is 12th to its sign? And Jupiter is in Aries sign. How it is 12th to its sign?
no, Pisces is its own sign, no, sir. That is.
No, no.
Okay, okay,
Pieces.
okay, okay, sorry, sir. Okay, okay, sir.
How it is 12th? How it
Yes,
is
sir, yes,
12th?
sir. Right, right, sir.
Right. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So now look here. Aries has got how many stars? Three stars. भाई साइन 1, 5 और 9 में कितने स्टार होते हैं? हाउ मेनी स्टार्स आर देयर? थ्री स्टार्स.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ketu, Venus, and Sun.
Ketu, Venus.
केतु
Ketu,
वीनस.
Venus, and Sun.
ओके. और पाइसिस में हाउ मेनी स्टार्स आर देयर? थ्री स्टार्स.
Three.
एंड द थ्री
Jupiter,
स्टार्स
Saturn.
आर
Jupiter,
जुपिटर.
Saturn, Mercury.
Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury. Okay. Now we have to decide that the transit of Jupiter in which sign is more favorable. Okay. Is it Ketu or is it Venus? The transit has to be either in Ketu star or in Venus star or in Sun star, right? And when Jupiter is in its own sign, the transit has to be in Jupiter sign. Okay. It has to be in Saturn or it has to be in Mercury. यही हुआ ना?
Yes, sir, yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Now, if you look at these charts and if you compare it at the sub level and the sub level, you will find that the transit of Jupiter in the sign of Aries is more favorable because Ketu is very strong, Venus is strong, even Sun is strong. On the contrary, Saturn is not that strong, Jupiter is not that strong, and Mercury is not strong. Or another way, how you can make the same prediction in a simple
Sir,
way.
sir, even we have bunching also applied, bunching up applied, sir.
Hanji. So
Even bunching.
another way, Jupiter is in the sixth house. Okay. The transit of slow moving planets in sixth house, in eighth house, and 12th house is less favorable. Okay. Second point is that Jupiter, when it is transiting in sixth house, it is in no way linked to the seventh house. Second point. The third point is that as long as Ketu and Rahu are in the axis of 1, 7, they will not allow the event to happen. I repeat again. Ketu in, see, the position of Saturn I have fixed, transit of Saturn. Is it okay up to this point?
The
Oh,
last point,
okay, okay, sir.
repeat, sir.
Okay.
Saturn will
Saturn is okay.
transit in Aquarius sign, and I
That is
have
okay.
fixed the transit of Saturn in Aquarius sign, and in this 2.5 periods of time, the marriage is likely to happen. Okay. Now the next point is I'll have to fix the transit of the position
Jupiter.
of Jupiter. Jupiter in its own sign is less favorable than Jupiter is in Aries sign. There are so many reasons for it. Okay. One is that in Aries you have got three stars, Ketu, Venus, and Sun. In Pisces, there are three stars which are Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury. So the strength of Ketu, Venus, and Sun is more, much more as compared to what you have for the Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury. If you look into the cuspal table, you can clearly find out without any doubts that the transit in Mars sign is more favorable. Another way, Jupiter, when it will shift to the Aries sign, it will shift to the seventh house. And when it shifts to the seventh house, it is linked to the seventh house, which is the house of the marriage, right? It becomes more favorable. It becomes more favorable. Therefore, what I do is I will have to advance Jupiter to the next sign. And when I do it, I change it by 1 month each just to find out. Yes, here it is. Jupiter here is 28 degrees. So I change it by 1 week each. And here it is. On 22nd of April 2023, Jupiter will shift to which sign? The Aries sign. It shifts to which house? The seventh house. And seventh house is the house in question. So the transit of Jupiter is favorable in the seventh house. Second point, Saturn is aspecting Jupiter also. Third aspect means double transit condition is also satisfied. ये तो मैंने वेदिक की बात बताई है. Okay. Back to the cuspal theory. Transit of Saturn in Aquarius sign is good because transit of Saturn in Capricorn, which was 12 to its sign, it would not allow the event to fructify. Therefore, we shifted it to the Aquarius sign. Then Jupiter in its own sign is less favorable than Jupiter in Mars sign. And Jupiter, Mars say in the sign of Taurus, it is again more favorable. Okay. So then the transit, because you see that in this particular period, the transit, when you fix the transit of Saturn, it will have 2.5 years. And in these 2.5 years, it will shift into three signs: sign number 12, sign number 1, and sign number 2. That is, these are the three maximum positions as long as Saturn stays in the 11th sign. Try to understand this point. When I fix Saturn in the Aquarius sign, it will stay in the Aquarius sign for almost 2.5 years. Okay? And if it stays in Aquarius signs for 2.5 years, then Jupiter was present here in the Pisces sign. Then in these 2.5 years, Jupiter can at the most transit in three houses: sixth house, seventh house, and eighth house. They are three houses in which it can transit. So the transit in Pisces sign, the transit in Aries sign, and the transit in Taurus sign. So you
Seventh,
have you
seventh
have
house is favorable. Seventh house is favorable.
नहीं
That
नहीं
means
नहीं
Aries.
नहीं, not necessarily, not that is what I am pointing out. वो तो मैंने एक simple method बताया ना आपको. That is what I am pointing out is that I just again shifted back to the same house just to make this point clear. Here it is. Saturn is here. So on 22/4, Saturn is in which sign? It is in Capricorn. I will have to advance it by 1 week. Saturn shifts to which sign on 29/4/2022?
Aquarius.
Saturn has shifted to Aquarius sign. Okay. And degree is 1 minute and 31 seconds. Fine. Now Jupiter is here in this sign. Saturn will stay here in this sign for how much time?
Two and a
That
half
is
Two and
years.
a half. 2.5 years.
30, 30
30,
months.
30 months, yeah.
30 months. 30 months.
30 months. 30
30.
months.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Now what is the degree of Jupiter here? 3 degree, right?
Hmm.
Jupiter stays in one sign for 1 year. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Jupiter stays in a sign for 1 year,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
So
sir.
in 30 months period of time, Jupiter can transit in which signs?
Three
Sign
signs.
number
Three
12,
signs.
Pisces. It can
Pisces,
Five,
transit in
Pisces,
Aries
Aries and
Aries.
Taurus.
and Taurus. Lord of Pisces is Jupiter. Lord of Aries is Mars. And Lord of Taurus is Venus. So I will have to look into the significations of Jupiter. The second planet was Mars, and the third planet was Venus. Am I right? यही बना ना.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
तीन ही planets देखोगे, तीन ही, क्योंकि आप इससे
Yes, sir.
ज्यादा तो मूव नहीं ना कर सकते उसको. You
Yes,
cannot
yes, sir.
move
Yes, sir.
Jupiter beyond these
Venus
three
is,
points.
Venus is very big.
Venus is
So
strongest.
Venus is strongest.
How, sir? This is there is no seven. Acha.
कहाँ सेवन
Oh, okay,
नहीं
okay,
है.
right, 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 right. Okay.
It is 5, 7, and 11 involvement. Venus.
Yes,
Look
sir.
at
Yes.
Mars. Involvement of 5, 7
Hmm.
with 2, 6, and 10.
There is no six in Venus at sub level
Yes, that is
and
important.
sub level also. No
Yes, that is
six.
the reason why Venus is more stronger. ये मैंने when I was discussing these strength of these, I pointed out this. So Venus is stronger. Why it is stronger? There is no 6 at the sub level. There is no 6 at the sub level. Look at Jupiter. 6 at the sub level, 6 and 10, and then 2 and 10 at the sub level. With 5 and 11 here, no 7 is there. So Jupiter is not that strong. And look at Mars. Mars is 2, 6, and 10 involvement, 6, 12 at the sub level. So that is why Venus is stronger as compared to both Jupiter as well as Mars. So which sign do you think should
Taurus.
Taurus should is more favorable? But before proceeding to that sign, systematically we have to carry on, right? So it means the most favorable position for the transit of Jupiter is here is in the Taurus sign. Okay. So Jupiter here is in the Pisces sign. I will shift it to, I change it by 1 year only. Jupiter 1 degree 46 minutes. It's okay. So Saturn is here, Jupiter is here. This position is also favorable for transit of Jupiter. Why? Because Jupiter here is present in which house? The seventh house, the primary house of the marriage. And if you look at the significations, Jupiter itself is the sub-sublord of the seventh house. Okay. So this position is also okay as per transit. But the most favorable position is this position. Right? So on 29th 4 2023, now Dasha is Venus, okay, Bhukti is which? Rahu, but the Antra is Saturn. So the question is that whether we can have Saturn as the Antra. अब suppose इसको मैं directly I shift Jupiter to the Taurus sign. Say if I do it directly without proceeding systematically from Saturn up to Mars, I have to find out which is the suitable Antra. From Jupiter at 1 degree, it will change to Taurus sign. I again forward it 1 month each to find out that on which date it will move to Taurus sign. Here it is. Jupiter here is 6 degrees. '29. Okay, is it okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because the transit of Jupiter is more favorable in this sign, then what you find here is that this marriage cannot happen before sixth sixth day of fifth month 2024 in any case. Right?
Right.
Okay. So which is the bhukti I am having here? Rahu.
Hmm.
And what is the antra I am having here? It is Venus. Right?
Yes, sir.
Venus antra. Now I have to fix the antra lord because Venus antra will start from 9/1/2024 and will go up to 27 2024. Okay. And the marriage I already pointed out can happen before 15th of February 2025. So it means I will now have to fix the transit of Sun, that in which particular sign the transit of Sun is okay. And once I fix it, I can have an idea that which is the possible antra I can have. Now, how to fix the transit of Sun? I will have to focus upon what? First of all, the planets posted in the 5th, 7th, and the 11th house. In 5th house, it is Moon. There is no planet in the 7th house. And in the 11th house, it is Jupiter. So, what are the favorable signs for the transit of Sun?
Cancer, Sagittarius, and Pisces.
Pisces. Cancer, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Now, if Sun changes from here to Cancer sign, it will take around 4 months. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
From Aries to Cancer, it will take around 4 months. When Sun comes here, it is 12th to its own sign. Is it favorable? No. If I Here it is. I'll have to take Sun into which sign? Cancer sign. Now, is the transit of Sun favorable here in this sign? No.
No, sir. No, sir.
Why? Because it is
12th to its own side.
right. So then, which is the possibility I can have for the arrangement of Saturn, Sun?
Sagittarius.
It is either Sagittarius or it is Capricorn. Why did I say Capricorn? Because the conditions for the suitable position of transit, the suitable sign for transit of Sun is number one, we have to look for the planets which are posted in 5, 7, and 11. That is one point. And the second important point is that we have also to look at the position which is being aspected by Jupiter. Now, this is not a part of cuspal theory, so we will leave this point. So, what I do is I first of all shift Sun from this sign up to ninth sign.
Sir, is it required Jupiter aspect for the sun?
No, 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 not in cuspal. We won't consider it. We'll carry on with the cuspal. Okay, now here it is. Now, what is the date I am having here now?
20th December 2024.
20th December 2024. Okay, I shift 1 month back. Here it is. Here it is. So the transit of Sun here in the sign of Mars. Okay, it is on 2011-2024. Right? And what is the antra I am having here on this particular date? That is Moon antra. Okay, it is Moon antra. Is it okay up to this point? Transit of Sun was not favorable here in this sign, so I have to automatically go up to which sign? This sign. Right? हम कैसे कैलकुलेट करेंगे ना? How do we calculate it? For the transit of Sun, there is no doubt about it. But when Sun was present here, yeah, when Sun was present here in this sign, I have to shift Jupiter to the next sign. Here it is. This was the position. 5th month, 2024. I think the date was 16th, if I am not wrong. Okay. Sun is present here. Am I right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Right. Now, when Sun is present here, then the Antra Lord which I am having here is Venus as the Antra. Okay. Venus is the Antra. Venus is not a co-ruler of the 7th house. It is a co-ruler of the 11th house. And Venus is present in the star of Rahu. Rahu is not a co-ruler of the 7th house, but Rahu is Jupiter and Jupiter is a co-ruler of the 7th house. Okay. So it appears to be okay. Right? Now, from here, I will have to fix the transit of Sun. To fix the transit of Sun, now from Aries up to Sagittarius, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 months period is there. First of all, I will have to change, advance it by 1 week each so that Sun shifts to Taurus sign. Right? Now from here, what is the time? It is 18/5/2024. 5th month. Okay. And if you remember, from 5th month, Rahu period is from here we have to start with. From 19/1, it is from 5th month up to 15 to 2025. How many months are there? 9 months. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
We have to count right from here. On 18th of May 2024, Sun is transiting in the sign of Taurus. We have Venus Dasha, Rahu Bhukti, and Venus Antra running at this particular period of time. Okay? So, what does it mean? that from this point onwards up to 15 to 2025, when the bhukti of Rahu will be over, I have how many months with me? I have approximately 8.5 months with me. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
18 days तो हो गए हैं ना यहाँ पर.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
Then how many days are left? Hardly 12 days are left when the 6th month will come. So how many months are there with me? 8 months or 8.5 months. Okay.
Yes, sir.
हाँ.
8 months ही हुए ना approximately.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
अब 8 months का मतलब है 1 month, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8.
Yes. Okay.
Maximum it can be up to this point. Okay.
Okay.
Sun
Hmm.
can transit from here up to this point.
Okay.
Right. So then I will have to change. Now this was one position which was favorable. Moon is there. Lord
Okay.
of Cancer.
Yeah.
Lord of Cancer. And Sun is transiting in Cancer sign.
Okay.
Okay.
Huh.
Favorable position as per our rules. The other favorable positions are Sagittarius sign and Pisces sign, 9 and 12, which are favorable for the transit of Sun. Okay,
Yes, sir.
right?
Huh.
Now, one additional point which you always need to keep in mind, that whenever Sun will transit over its own position,
That means moon position means.
in the natal chart,
Uh,
when Sun
Leo.
transits over Sun in its
अच्छा.
own.
हाँ. Yes, sir.
See, when Jupiter will transit over the sign, over where Jupiter is placed, when Saturn will transit over the position where it is placed, Moon transit over position where it is placed. If it happens to be there, then that position is also favorable. Okay. So what does it mean? That whenever Sun will transit in the eighth sign, it will transit over its own position in the natal chart. This is an additional point which I am telling. One is the sign of Moon, which is Cancer sign. Second is the sign of Jupiter, which is Sagittarius and Pisces sign. And the third point is that if Sun happens to transit over its own sign, own position in the natal chart, then that period is also favorable.
Mm-hmm.
Is it okay or not? Is it clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is given in the book. Is
Hmm.
nothing I am adding from my side. It is given in the book. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now it means that if Sun is transiting on 8th sign, it will be favorable. If it is transiting in 9th sign, it is favorable. So what are the favorable positions for transit of Sun? Cancer sign, Scorpio sign, and then next one is Sagittarius sign, and it is Pisces sign. Okay. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So then now I will change the position of Sun. Transit of Sun in Cancer sign is not favorable because it is 12 to its own sign. So I will shift to which sign?
Scorpio.
Details.
Scorpio sign. Here it is. Scorpio sign. Now this is again a favorable position for the transit of Sun. Right? Okay. It is given in the book in your true horoscope. I will give you the page number where it is given. Okay. So the position, the transit of Sun over its own sign in over its own natal position is also favorable sign for the transit of Sun. So then, now here when I arrange sun in the Scorpio sign, then which is the antra I'm going to have? Which is the antra I'm going to have here?
Saturn, huh?
It is moon antra,
Moon.
Mhm.
right? It is moon antra, and moon antra will be there from which time period? 13/9/2024 up to
20.
13/12/2024. Okay,
3 months.
right? So you have 3 months.
Mm.
You
Oh,
have 3 months,
yes, sir.
right? Right.
Uh,
So it is 13/9. Now, what is the date which I am having here? 18/11
18,
2024.
11,
It means from 18th day up to 13th day of December. How many days are there? 12 and 13?
25.
25 days are there, right? And now for these 25 days, what I need to do? I will
Fix
have to fix the position of moon.
moon.
और 25 डेज का मतलब क्या हो गया? अप्रोक्सीमेटली 10 jumps
10
of
days.
moon.
Yeah.
10 jumps of moon. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
10 positions ही moon change करेगा ना?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because two and a
2
half
point.
days,
Yes, sir.
2.5 days it will mean approximately 10. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So either the moon is arranged here or the moon is present over here. Either of these signs, and that will become a favorable position for the transit of moon. Subject to condition that the Sukshma Lord which I am going to have should be satisfying the condition of being a Sukshma Lord by being a co-ruler of the primary house along with one supporting house or both the supporting houses. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
यहाँ तक क्लियर है? कोई क्वेश्चन है यहाँ तक तो पूछो.
No, sir.
ओके है? So after moon sukshma, moon antra, I have to select the sukshma, and sukshma can be selected by the transit of moon, arrangement of moon. अब moon के transit के लिए क्या conditions आएंगी? What are the conditions? Transit in Cancer sign, transit in Sagittarius sign. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Transit in Pisces sign, and in natal chart also moon is posted on it in Pisces sign. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. So what I do is I advance it by 1 day each. Right? In Aquarius sign, this position of transit is favorable as well as the next position of transit. The marriage is likely to happen. So I said that anything in between 1 to 14th of December, the marriage is likely to happen.
Okay, okay, sir.
Right? Right? So then, and the exact date of marriage is 7th of December 2024 and the time of marriage is
And
1:30
seventh
at
and seventh moon in which cusp, sir? Moon in
moon
which?
on 7th of December. Moon is in the Capricorn sign. It was
In
something around.
Capricorn moon, how it is related, sir? How it was given result, sir?
See,
Like,
see,
yeah,
see,
brother.
see, see. Here you have to look into the prana lord,
Okay, sir.
and prana lord is Mercury or it is
Oh,
Ketu, because
okay,
these
sir.
are the only two planets which are left in the Sukshma of Venus. Either it
Okay,
is
sir.
Mercury or it is Ketu. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay,
And
sir.
both Mercury and Ketu, if you look here, they are the co-rulers of the seventh cusp,
Okay, sir.
right? And out of two, Mercury appears to be more stronger.
Okay, sir.
But on the contrary, the marriage happened in the prana of Ketu.
Okay, sir.
It happened in the prana of Ketu, right?
Okay, sir.
So the marriage, the exact date which I was given, in fact, what I have predicted was that either the marriage will happen in December or it will happen in the first week of January. The marriage for this natives was fixed in the first week of January, but the marriage was preponed at the request of the parents of the girl, because the parents of the girl, they believe in Devi. Okay, Kamakhya
Okay, sir.
Devi, something like that. This is
Okay,
what they
sir.
were telling. Okay, so as per some Panditji in that temple, he fixed the date as 7th of December 2024, and now he fixed the date 6th, but the marriage was held at, because in Punjab, marriages are held in the night,
Okay,
and it
sir.
was held on sixth night, sixth night from 10:30 onwards, and the fairas they happened on 7th at
So
1:30.
ultimately 7 hours.
Yeah, 7th 1:30. So 7th 1:30.
Mercury is the prana lord, no? It's
No,
ending at 21:19.
oh,
It happened
I'm
at
sorry. I'm, so,
1:30.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Mercury is the prana lord, not Ketu. Mercury is the prana lord. Correct, correct. Mercury is the prana lord because it is 21:19. Okay. So Mercury is the prana lord because the date is 7/12/130. So 7/12/130, Mercury is the prana lord, and if you look at Mercury, Mercury is the seventh
1:30 a.m.
sublord and fifth, yes, 1:30 a.m. And
1:30
fifth,
a.m. Then it will be Ketu only, no, sir.
no, 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 no. It is Mercury.